on this episode of Bot versus Con.
Welcome back, BVC fans, and welcome to the finale of our, I didn't want to say best, end of the year celebration for 2024, and we are ending it off with the worst figures we got. Bobby's got a huge list, so stay tuned. Mine's a little bit more manageable, and we'll see you guys very shortly.
This is Bot versus Con. Make sure to subscribe and consider becoming a member.
All right, so we're back, and we're going to start off with the worst MP figures that we picked up this year. And some of this is going to be harsh, and some of it's just going to be honest. And sometimes those two things are the same. So
I also wanted to put in, for me, I don't know how Bobby did this. Most of my worst is the most disappointing. So I could have been super hyped and then got it, and it was not where I wanted it to. And that dip is why it's on this list. But it is a good figure. It's just not. It didn't do it for me. I still am going to display them. It's just not, Yeah. It didn't blow me away. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that works too. I think we'll talk about it with each figure we announce. And do you want me to start, James, or do you want to start?
I guess I'll start.
Okay.
So this is probably the one that is not as bad, but it still disappointed me, and that's Rollbar.
Wow.
This figure looks great, but it's not very fun to transform. It doesn't pose very well. I'm happy to have one. Don't get me wrong, but I was expecting more out of MMC, and I know it's an old mold, so maybe I shouldn't have been. But it just didn't do it for me. And then when I got the Rotor, I was like, okay, I see where they're going with this. This is cool. But this mold did not do it for me.
Wow. Okay. So I have some honorable mentions. I don't know how many MP figures I bought last year, but I'll just go ahead and jump out there, and that was Fans Hobbies Dark Strike. The jet looks amazing. The transformation of this is not fun. There's little tabs in the side here that sometimes want to stay and sometimes they don't. Right now it actually is in, but it helps plug the backpack in. But it's not fun. I had to I used this gun to kind of push him in. It's a very tight fit. And just what you have to do with the legs and things, it just made this figure not fun. And so I was disappointed. But
since these are in no particular order, at least for me, I'm also going to put the US version of Dark Strike. It's not even out of the box because I don't want to mess with it, but because the other one, the Dreadwind, I believe, is in storage, and I shouldn't have put them away. I'm stupid. I don't even want to take it out because of all the issues that I had with the convention exclusive, which looks amazing. This figure looks great too, but it's just not a fun figure. I'm glad I have it to fill that role in my collection, to have that spot filled, but it's just not my favorite.
Yeah, it's not.
Why don't you do a few, because you have a lot more than me?
Yeah. So this is something that also went back and forth, and this is the Toy Easy's aircraft carrier.
That's the torso, right?
The Leon Jing, and it's huge. You can probably see here, there's some bumps here, so it's not I couldn't get this to lay flat or flush, so the transformation was very involved with this one. You can see under here, it's not tabbed in, and here too. Mm-hmm. So you have to have everything lined up, really well. You can see a dip here as well. So it wasn't fun. And the very first one that they got, me and James both had issues with it. The second one they came out with was great. I can't remember if this was third or fourth. So out of this set, this is the second one that I had an issue with. It's huge, and so manipulating all the parts and having everything lined up becomes a little frustrating. So this made the list because of the transformation. I
And
wish I
which one
could.
is that?
This is
Is
Leo's.
it a leg?
No, this is the
Torso. It's the torso,
the
right?
head. Yeah, the head and the.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, it cleans up really. I mean, it would clean up really nice if if everything tabbed in well. But I gave up, and I was just like, you know what, it's good. So you want me to go on with another one?
Yeah, just do it. I have two more MP ones. So
Oh, okay, then yes. So next we're gonna go with Collection Space. Their Little B. This is, and I do have the red B. I can't remember the name, but I did not transform this one. It's cute. It's so cute, and this is like. I know when I got this, I said this is like a pose my daughter would do. She'd stick out her tongue, she'd throw up the peace sign, and she'd be standing on one foot. The thing I don't like about this is the transformation. The legs, getting those to tab in and fit fine is it's like working out in the gym, when you haven't worked out in like 7 years. It's a pain. The front tires, these things are so thin, and I don't like the way they look. You can also see the transformation details there. It just wasn't fun, for a transformation. It's okay. Again, everything's not tabbed in perfectly. This was close, and I thought close was enough. So similar to the boat, it just wasn't a fun transformation, and I'm not going to transform the red one at all. So this will stay like this, and the red one will stay in Ladybot mode. Next, we're going into now. This is actually my top 5 here.
Oh God. Okay. Well, when you get to top 2, then that's when I'll come in.
Yeah. So those are my honorable mentions. So number 5, there it is. This is X-Transbot's Runabout, and you can't see it on this one. This is the first release. I did end up getting a sticker to cover up the hole in the chest. This is the one that had problems with the legs. Fortunately, I didn't, but I did also unscrew the screw in the leg just to make sure I didn't have any issues. With the re-release, they did still have the hole, but they plugged it with a little sticker, and you can see it there.
They used a sticker, not like a piece of plastic?
It is a piece of plastic, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But, it's the hole is still there, but, so they tried, and I didn't have any issues with it. I do like the way it looks in alt mode. I do like the black, but, this figure just had so many issues for people, and it just made the run amok so much better for me, which if you saw our tops, that's why that one made it and this one didn't. So number 4 for me is something else from Fans Hobby, and it's their Tidal Wave. I talked about this on our hauls recently. I had issues. Hopefully they stay now. But I had the screw covers falling off. They're in now. But it's very, very light, and I don't like that. There's things that I do like about it. I love the how you can shoot out the jets on here. I love that it came with mini cons. I love that it had the rotation and things, but it's the weight of it feels very thin, and they kept it that way to merge with Megatron / Galvatron, and I just think they could have done better on this figure and omitted. I don't want to say omitted, but kind of made that not the focus of this bot in general. I think they sacrificed the bot to do the combined mode, and I haven't done the combined mode yet, but from what I've heard, that's not even that great. So, and that's my least favorite mode of this figure. So, yeah, I'm very unhappy about that. So this is my number 3. And
I said number 4.
Oh, number 4. Excuse me, number 4.
Okay, all right.
And I think this is going to help you out probably. This is my number 3, and we have another Fans Hobby, and this is their Jetfire. The alt mode looks great. The transformation is, there's some things that are different, which are kind of cool, but I just don't think it hits the mark for me. This is not my favorite Jetfire, so there's some bias there probably as well. But this just wasn't. It just didn't do anything for me as a figure.
You know, you have the wings transformed wrong, right?
Oh, I know they're supposed to go up, but this was in my case, and they won't.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So now we're on number 2. So I guess I'll chime back in. Now I want to preface this by saying this figure is not bad. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, but what it does, I'm not a big fan of, and that's Naka. So I might be helping you out a little bit. It's a great looking figure. It feels great in hand. There's die cast in it. It poses pretty well. The torso is very limited, which I did not like. But again, I think I was spoiled by Bingo Toys' Spider-Girl, which is right there. That thing is great. It poses amazing. It has the biggest ab crunch and everything. This, not so much. It could barely hold her staff. It always falls out of her hand. I don't like this. I didn't remember that it had this because it just can't pose. It just kind of sits there, and it makes her a little back heavy when she already has tiny little heels, you know. So, but again, it's gorgeous. Oh, and the spider, which is right there that comes with it. There's no point to combine them because the pieces look the same out of when she's not in it or when she's in it. So it's kind of it's not really a transformer in that aspect. But again, the paint is phenomenal on this thing.
It looks amazing.
It really is. And you know, the skin tone, I know we've had some debates on the show. It doesn't really look brown still. I ask everybody and they say it's not brown, it looks more like a clay red. So it's weird. I think it messes with your eyes. Again, good figure though, Bobby. I think you should still get it since you have all those fembots, and it would look good. You're telling me that wouldn't look good with your fembots?
It does look good. I mean, I was planning on picking it up. I just never got around to it. I thought I actually had a pre-order in, and I guess I didn't. So
I think you should still get it. There's just things I wish it did more, especially after getting the other big Firebird. What was it, Mocha? That one was really good. I was hoping for more of that in this.
That makes sense. So yeah, I understand that, and that's disappointing because I think we both were looking forward to that figure.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 for me is Mobian Studio Star Overlord. Overlord Shadow or something like that, and then this one is the Star Overlord, and this is the Grimlock.
Sniper Grimlock
that turns into a sniper rifle, as well as a dinosaur. I left the little bird piece on the shelf. The best mode for this is either the bot or the dinosaur. The rifle sucks. The bird basically folds together and becomes the back of it. I can't think of what it's called. Of the gun. It doesn't hold on. It feels hollow. Again, if you saw my best of, you saw that the Gatling gun was one of my top figures, and yeah, this did not hold up to that, and doesn't hold up to the sniper rifle that NBK came out with as well. So yeah, this is very blah.
Yeah, it's a different company, so you can't really compare the two. And now I'm going to have you show off my number 1 worst figure because I packed mine away as fast as I could, and that is Fans Hobbies Armada Jetfire.
Making a reappearance.
Yeah, this is probably one of the worst third-party figures I've ever handled. So there are cool transformation aspects, like you said. It just doesn't do it for me. It falls apart. It doesn't stay together well. Which isn't because of the materials. It's because of, I don't know why. It's well built. I just don't like it. And I'm honestly mad that I'm gonna buy it again as Space Case, or not Space Case, Space Warp or Astro Train, because I do want that figure and I will be picking it up. But it's just a bad mold. And they've, just like Tidal Wave, they focused on making it pants versus being a competent figure. They were more focused on the combine mode than the figure itself. And that's a shame. They should have focused on this mode and then had the pants as like a, it can still do that.
I still have not combined it yet.
I don't blame you.
So I can't speak on how well that they did that or not. You said that this might be the worst figure you've ever handled. I'm going to show you what is the worst figure I've ever handled. And I'm going to shout out a member, Blue, on this. And this is the Insect Mecha Girl. This thing is absolutely terrible. And we talked about this, or actually we handled it for the first time at TFCon. Blue bought a few of these and he donated one to the channel, and this thing is terrible. Like, I could not, like, transforming it, there's some things that you have to do where you have to connect something, to her crotch area. It doesn't want to stay connected. Stuff was popping off. I mean, you can just see it's like so wobbly. Like, look at that.
Wow.
You talked about, the headpiece on Naka. Look at that. Like,
well, yeah, Naka's headpiece doesn't like make her do that. It's just kind of cumbersome.
Like, look at this. Look at This figure is the worst figure I've ever handled. And I can't think of. I try to. It looks great, and like, look at that. It's just so wobbly, and
Naka's pretty solid.
Yeah, this was such a disappointing figure, because again, this is something we are both going to pick up as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So thank you, Blue, for saving my wallet a little bit there, and James too, probably. But this is definitely my worst figure ever, probably.
Wow, those are fighting words. So
yeah.
With that being said, let us know what your worst third-party figure is of the year, and we'll be right back with what our worst Hasbro figure is.
Yeah, stay tuned. All right, so we are back, and now we're going to talk about our most disappointing figures that came from Hasbro. Now, I don't know about James, but I had to open up a lot of boxes to actually experience some of these figures. So with that, I think let's go ahead and jump into it, James.
Yeah, so I have 3. So why don't I jump in at your third one?
Okay. So my number 5 is Thundertron.
Oh.
And there was, so I had mentioned in a previous video, I bought 50 Hasbro figures, and I don't have any honorable mentions, which is actually pretty good for Hasbro. But these are the ones that just kind of stood out as I'm just not happy with them. So this one, the transformation's kind of cool, like how the hand goes here. Excuse me, I have the hiccups now, but I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. And I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but it was pretty. I like the colors. Maybe I just don't like the alt mode. Maybe that's what it is, and I just didn't enjoy transforming it. I haven't transformed it back. I'm going to, but yeah, it just didn't do it for me. And I guess I don't like the legs. This is just, it feels lazy. So yeah, that's my number 5. Excuse me. Number 4, we've talked about this a lot. and it's Gonzo. I mean, Shadow Striker. Yeah, it it just didn't do it for me at all. Everything that I complained about on this figure is what was wrong with this figure. The transformation was okay. There's a little bit of parts forming, which is fine. This is like supposed to be, I don't remember, like, a shield or something like that, a little shield.
Well, because the original, you have the original RID Sideswipe. That's his whole gun, is the back bumper.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what they were trying to emulate. Whether they did it or not, well, that's for Bobby to decide, because I don't have this figure.
Yeah, and it just didn't do it for me. I don't like the front of it. Now, I can't say it doesn't look as bad in hand as it did on screen with the Gonzo nose. It doesn't stick out as much, but it still sticks out. And
now, is there a reason why it sticks out? Like in alt mode, does it have to clip into something or whatnot?
Not that I remember.
Why wouldn't they just make it flat across? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. And now, I've only I transformed it once, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't very fun. Everything does peg in very well together, though. I can't say that. Even the way they kind of do this is the windshield is on his arm, and so it kind of folds down and then folds over to cover up the whole car. So that part is different and kind of cool, but yeah, I just didn't really enjoy the figure, or the character.
So I guess I'll go into my top 3. They're not in any specific order. I actually packed them away, so you'll have images going on screen of them. And the first one is Magmatron. It was a big disappointment to me with the lack of finish that they did on it. It's a good figure. It's fun to transform and all that, but you can tell Hasbro didn't really try to give it to that next level with all the hinges that were unpainted, with some of the transformation aspects, how cheap it felt. Mine came out of the box with a stress mark. So I like it. I'm glad I have it, but it was definitely disappointing for me.
And you tried to get me to buy it.
Well, I try to get you to buy everything. You should still buy it. You need to experience it yourself.
I'm good. I'll play with yours when I see you. I'll play with your Magmatron.
Thank you for clarifying.
No diddy.
Go on to your number 3.
All right, number 3. It's Bumblebee Shockwave.
Oh.
I did get this on sale. A lot of people talked about how good of a figure this was. Yeah, I disagree. It literally feels like and looks like he's just laid down and stretched out. I mean, here's the legs and the feet. Here's the arms, and his head tucks down right here. Now the chest piece does come down here, but it feels like he just went like this and laid back. And I don't know. It feels lazy. Again, there's a little bit more into it than that, but overall, that's the sense I got with this alt mode. Didn't really do anything for me, so this is number 3 on my list.
Yeah. Makes sense. So I just realized my number 2 I don't think came out this year, but I'm still gonna put it on. I got it at Ross at a very steep discount, but that's the Dead Ironhide and Prowl. I think that was last year.
Well,
either which way, I'm gonna just put it on the list.
You think it was 23 instead of 24?
I think so.
Okay.
Either which way, doesn't matter. I didn't like it. Still haven't, really done much with it, and I still wish I'd saved my $14.99.
I haven't opened mine yet either, to be honest. So, yeah, it's still over there. I got mine for $17.99. I'm kind of a little bit jealous. I could use those $3
for something better. You could go get a coffee or something.
Yeah, something. Number 2 for me is Gamer Edition Sideswipe. I talked about how Sunstreaker surprised me and actually was a good figure. This one did not surprise me. It was everything that I thought it was going to be. It just wasn't fun. I don't know if I did something wrong, but like right here, it doesn't feel like it's tabbed in all the way. I don't know if you can see that.
It. Yeah.
I don't like that gap there, but yeah, it just didn't do it for me. The alt mode is probably the best looking mode of this figure, and that's not really saying much. But yeah, it just was. It's what I thought it was. If I paid full price for this, I'd be very disappointed.
Yeah, makes sense. So my next figure, I don't want to say again it's number 1, is Lockdown from the Walmart line. And that's not because it's a bad figure, but it's just not what I want out of the Lockdown. And I'm disappointed that we didn't get a new mold. I understand why, but like I feel like Hasbro should have saved that character and done it justice. It's a different mold.
Oh, it's close. Oh, it's close enough.
No, it's not.
I'm saying they could have saved the mode for something else.
No. What I meant is they could have saved Lockdown as the character and gave it to a better version of Lockdown down the road. Because let's be honest, this is probably going to be the only Lockdown we see for years to come.
Yeah.
And I wish we got a better Lockdown because he is such a big player and animated. And this just didn't do it for me. What did I call him? He was I forgot. I made up a name for him because he was the bot that Lockdown, a failed clone of Lockdown that he made of himself, and he keeps them around to explode and stuff. Because that's what that figure is. It's really not amazing. The mold's fine.
It's a weaponizer,
just not as Lockdown.
It's a weaponizer, correct?
Yes, and I actually really liked the blue version of that mold. That was the girl. I don't remember the name.
Blue and purple.
Blue, yeah, that was a really cool version of it. Just as Lockdown, it was a little bit lackluster. I think the Chase or Cliff Jumper mold, while it's still small, would have worked a lot better for Lockdown with a few little remolds with spikes and a engine and little things like that. I think that would have been a better mold for Lockdown.
Fair enough. My number 1. This is so disappointing. It's Studio Series 86.
I should have guessed.
This Steeljaw is horrible. I just yeah, it's bad. It's all the way around bad. The best part about it is this piece here, this head. Like
the head sculpt's good on this, like we've been saying on a lot of the Hasbro figures. The best part of them is the head sculpt.
Yeah, like this box and the head. That's probably it. Like everything else is just. Granted, this is a $10 figure. This could have been a $5 figure.
Didn't they add like a big blaster for sound for big blaster for blaster on it?
Yeah, so it comes with. So you can put, this on Blaster's hand. So it's a speaker.
That's the other $5.
Yeah, that's exactly. And I just didn't like it. I bought it because it was the 86 line. I was trying to keep going with the 86 line. And I think this was the start of the crumbling of the 86 line for me as well.
Yeah, that makes it even worse. That makes that it should be number 1.
Yeah.
So,
and I have 2 of these because
you forgot to cancel your pre-order.
I did.
Well, let us know what Hasbro figures disappointed you the most, and let's go on to Legends.
Let's do it.
Now let's move on to the worst Legends figures that mostly Bobby picked up, and I realized while we were recording the top Legends figures that I actually got one, but it goes into this category, so I'm just going to do that, and then Bobby can go ahead and show off his. But he has to show it off because, again, I packed mine away, and that is the Magic Squares SD Nemesis Prime. It's okay. It's not fun to transform. It looks like a Lego, but it was only like $20. So, not too mad about it. It's just... it's not going in my best list, and I only got one technically Legend. So, see, look, he's dropping it because it's so bad. So it goes in my worst list. It's okay. I probably will never transform it again, though. I mean, look at the arm; it's weird. Anyways,
Yeah, that's the thing. You did have a problem with the arm.
yeah, I mean, it could have been my copy, honestly, because I remember you saying you had no problems with
Yeah.
this one or the Optimus, so
Or
it could have been my copy, but it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then I guess I'll take over from here. Now, these are, I think, James, you said it earlier. It's not that they were bad figures. It just was that there was something about them that was disappointing. So, first up on my list is the Wind Charger and Wasp from New Age. Now, the only issue I have with these is that they're so small. They look great. If they upscale these, I would be all on them. And I mean, it's beautiful. It's just so small. And again, as somebody who's primarily a masterpiece collector, these like really stood out at how small these are.
Yeah, phenomenal figures. The paint job is amazing on them.
Yeah.
But seeing them hold, you hold them in the hands, it's like a mini con.
Yeah, and hell, I think they actually might. I don't have one next to me.
Be the same size.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, I mean, here's the one that came with Tidal Wave, but
Yeah.
So, so that I would say that. Next up, again, looks great, but you have to be so careful with scratching the paint on these when you're transforming it. And this is the Mod Fan Cerebros. We both really enjoyed the roller that they made.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was really looking forward to these. And I mean, so much that I got it in like alternate colors, which again, they look great. I transformed the first one and was very careful with it. Didn't scratch it or anything, but because of that, it made me realize that I'm not going to transform the other two. And that's why it made my list, not because it's a bad figure, but just because of potential scratching and damaging this beautiful paint. And last on my list, I was really looking forward to this as well, and that's Magic Square's Spock.
Oh.
And there's a couple of things that I don't like about it. So it comes with this, what's supposed to be a stand for it. In the directions, it says that, it can plug in here, and there's a, little.
It's supposed to plug into that.
And here's the little tab. But as soon as you plug it in, either these want to split for the legs, or it just doesn't tab in well. And so basically what ends up happening is if you lay it on a surface, it falls over. And
which it would anyways.
And so, this was supposed to keep it from doing that, to give it a base. So I was a little disappointed in that. Again, not a terrible figure. Transformation was fine. It looks like it's supposed to look. But it was just that I'm really looking forward to finishing their Bruticus so I can put him in his hand, and that's where he'll stay. Because the bot mode looked fine as well, but this was kind of disappointing. I was just really excited about this. Now they do have the yellow repaint, and I will be picking that up. But again, I'll be looking forward to that because of the repaint of the yellow.
Was that Magic Square or New Age?
Wait, actually, that's New Age, I think it was.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so never mind. I won't be picking it up. So, yeah, so this is, again, not that any of these were bad. It was just certain things about them that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my list.
Oh, okay. Well, that is our worst figures of the year. Let us know down below what you think was your worst figures. Oh, yeah, there's that, too. That kind of fits in a gray area. He says he doesn't like it, but that's the main figure in his collection. He really likes it. So
this is the oversized KO of Brawn.
Bumblebee Brawn.
Yeah, and I like the Hasbro alt mode better,
which is saying a lot. So let us know down below what you choose. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, and we will see you on the next one.
Yes, as always, thank you for a great 2024. Looking forward to 2025. To All Debates Are Won. We'll see you next time.